What's up, YouTube? People have been asking me about a competitive Kindred deck for a very, very long time, and I thought it was impossible, but I think the time might have finally come. We're going to be taking a look at Scathus' new Sentinel Control today. Now, as the name suggests, Sentinel Control plays both Burgeoning Sentinel and Buru Sentinel alongside Elise as early units with a fearsome keyword, which are not only easy to proc because we have a lot of spells that slay stuff, but also can push a lot of early damage to then make finishing the game much easier with Commander Ledros or just a Vi into Atrocity kind of combo or Kindred into Atrocity. This deck already was popular towards the end of patch 2.17, so before the last big balance patch, and mainly so as a reply to a lot of the meta's threats. It was a very fast meta, a lot of aggressive cards that were centered around key units, and the cheap and efficient PNZ removal alongside cards like Despair was just a very great tool of containing the meta and therefore a very viable control deck to play here. After the balance patch, the meta was not too great for this deck at first. Dragons and so on is just too big. Numbers are too big to deal with this deck. But now that the meta's become very aggressive and fast again. A lot of Poppy, Poppy Z most of the time, Yordle Burn, Lurks and so on. The time for a PNZ plus Shadow Isles removal and control has come again. There were quite a few different choices opposed to Scathus' list back in patch 2.17. Now, I just found the list, I net-decked it, or rather Sorcerer Man requested me to play it, so I don't know the exact idea behind every single card, but I'll try to give you my best guesses and the assumptions I've made. So Aloof Travelers used to be a 3-of in this deck. Of course, after the nerf, the stat line doesn't really warrant its inclusion anymore. And instead, to make sure we don't run out of value and keep up in draw, we play Officer Squad. I'll be quite honest, this is the very first time I've ever played Officer Squad, but I was positively surprised by it. We want to draw without losing a lot of tempo, right? And we want some bodies on the board. And just the fact that we can elect when we want to invest the mana into Most Wanted to actually draw, and we have some agency over what to discard and so on, makes this a very, very useful card in this deck. Also, most of the time we want to draw in the late game, in the mid or late game, and by that time we will have enough mana to play Most Wanted anyway and still develop or remove in the same turn. Another spicy deck that I have not played before is Defective Swap Bot, but I was positively surprised by it. Of course, it's not quite as good into most of the aggro decks that are currently running around, but it is super effective to swap the stats with something like a Gangplank, a Sejuani, maybe a Rek'Sai or a big Lurker with Overwhelm, and then sets up that unit for Aftershock or Grasp of the Undying removal. Especially now that people are starting to play more control decks to counter the fast meta, maybe even stuff like Viego and Darkness and so on, Defective Swap Bot can definitely be a very good tool. And of course the biggest change is that 2 Vi's got exchanged for 2 Kindreds. Now Vi had her time to shine when Nami was a thing, when Lee Sin was very common and so on. Just a tool to very precisely take out a key enemy threat. But in the current meta, I definitely agree on the sentiment that Kindred is another very, very good choice because we want to remove a lot of small stuff right now. A lot of decks just go very wide and then either rally or play some buffs, maybe some for Demacia. And Kindred is a great way of preventing decks to go wide. And at the same time, there's not too much removal for a card like Kindred in the current meta, which means she will fairly often level, and then she also grows and becomes a very good atrocity target once she did fulfill that condition a couple of times. So it's a very good alternative to Vi. Now, I'd say the exact ratios on everything still need a bit more testing. This did feel pretty good so far though. I do agree with not including Get Excited just because we don't really have discard fodder. And so far I would agree with the ratios on all of this removal. 2 Despairs, 2 Grasps, to Withering Mists. They all kind of fulfill slightly different purposes, but they do hit a lot of decks in the current meta, and that means that you can look for matchup-specific removal in the mulligan. And of course, I already touched up on our main finishing combo, Commander Ledros with Atrocity. Keep in mind that you have a lot of other Atrocity outlets though. Also, 1 Ruination just as an additional way of hard removal and basically a plan B button if things do go out of control. No Vengeances because it's too mana inefficient, and Despair usually is better to remove something like a Zed or a Poppy. I can definitely recommend trying this deck out. I feel like it is a very good meta call. While the deck's power level on its own is not insanely high, I do feel like it has answers to almost everything that is currently running around. And especially if you're tired of just bashing people's faces in with tempo and aggressive decks the whole time, this is a nice change of tempo for once, a nice little control deck to play. And I also have a bunch of pretty good gameplay examples to share with you if you need some inspiration on how to pilot this deck.
Is it the mustache? Who knows?
Oh, Targon's Peak, right? Zoe Asol. So we're looking for Zoe removal, but mainly also for big stuff. Aloof is going to be very good. I mean, that is Zoe removal. But we play plenty of Zoe removal. Beams, Wild Feats, Mystic Shots. I feel like Renation should be a keep. Although I'm not 100% sure on it. Okay, unlucky. The jump rope.
This'll take the chill off.
Could just go for a low value despair here. I don't think it's good though. Alright, let's hit an FDR.
Look, a thing. Elf, that's not ours.
Bye! Love it.
They retreat.
Okay, and now the fiesta begins. So we just hope our opponent doesn't have anything ridiculously large. It's fine with me. I mean, I could just aftershock this, to be honest. I forgot that this is actually a landmark removal for a second. But maybe I should have just aftershocked this immediately. I feel like my opponent probably has a discounted Ravine or Avalanche here. I do think I like the aftershock. Like with the hand I currently have, my opponent should benefit way more from the discounts than I do. So it's the Buried in Ice plus, what's the other one called? Hit that stairs combo. Don't think I want to despair here, that seems mad. Think I like Sentinel into Most Wanted.
I did say I wanted to see the world.
Why am I what? Okay, so it's for Most Wanted it counts as a 0 mana card. That's interesting. I thought we'd get rid of Despair here. I mean, I think we're ruinating next round. Then again, my opponent on 8 mana is gonna have an awkward time. Despair is looking kinda hot, I'm not gonna lie. What a commitment. Okay, it feels like my opponent wants to FTR.
Without the other.
They might easily have a second one. In that case, I can Despair the Spell Shield and Ruinate, or I can just Thermal Beam Zoe actually. And oh, Asol gets marked. Wait, that's brilliant. In that case, I can't play the Most Wanted because I need the Thermal Beam. Read like a book, baby. Kindred hard counter to FTR. Who would have thought, honestly? Who would have freaking guessed? Let's go.
They will.
Nothing to mark is a bit annoying. It's just like trading big punches. 12 mana card into 12 mana card, 10 mana into 10 mana. Probably open attack. Now this is a problem. It should absorb the spell shield. Wait a second. Why do you still strike me? I mean, I think I just gotta set up a Ruination. Maybe Most Wanted, I look for better... Yeah, I think I like Most Wanted here. For better ways to ping the spell shield. We're pretty close to lethal. Oh no! I missed it. The play was play the Sentinel and kill my own Sentinel with Despair, right? Oh no! I missed the big brain play. What can we do? Probably just wail. Ruinate next round. I still need to get used to what Kindred actually does. It's been a long time.
I do love an audience.
Wait, Beyond? I feel like this is a great Beyond setup.
One star's whoopsie is another spark.
She's almost as old as me. Almost.
They barricaded the door. Doesn't matter.
Whatsoever was Asol's card, if I saw that correctly. Should be fine if we just Withering Mist or Mystic Shot. Probably Mist, right? We're so close to having this game in the bag, it's crazy. Just hope the guy doesn't flip.
Its heart beats fast now.
It knows.
Okay.
My, how they stare.
Okay. I feel like there was a bug. I'm not quite sure if that is how this is supposed to go. Still the same mark, okay. I'm wondering how good attacking is. I don't think it accomplishes anything though. Probably Elise into Atrocity. Do we even play Elise though? Yeah, sure.
I know what lurks in the shadows.
She may have caught a glimpse.
But more soon.
And we just hope our opponent doesn't hold healing. Nothing burnt on our opponent's side, so there's a good chance they hold something like Star Shaping. Let's see if you now die, because that was supposed to be your second life.
Constellations bow to me.
Okay, so on the second one it dies. Interesting.
On to the next. I do love an audience. Bring down the mountain.
Scared of my opponent still having Star Shaping mana. End round wouldn't be bad for them. Oh. Okay, but that card was top decked, so they most likely don't hold Star Shaping. Yeah, I don't think we'll ever get a better shot. Let's cut this short. Hope for the best. Randomly generated Living Legends off of the level A, so let's go. Still got it. Even though I missed the smart play with that one Kindred mark to remove Asol. And what GG's.
Leaving so soon. The little
GG's.
ones will miss you.
Interesting matchup. Our only real hard removal is a Thermal Beam. We could kind of count Vi and we can kind of count Kindred's passive as well. Either full mull look for Sentinels or keep a Mystic Shot. I think I like full mull. Yikes. That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. I suppose we have Ruination if things really get out of hand, but no Vengeance.
Nice to meet you.
I wish I could have shut down this trigger.
I know what lurks in the shadows. What's your hurry?
Probably make it rain next turn. I wonder if the block is actually bad
You cannot hold us down.
with the Elise.
So young.
We're making ourselves very vulnerable to make it rain, but then again, if they don't have it, the reward is huge. Okay, right now we're just contesting plunder triggers. So we have more time to pop off with Kindred Ledros later on. Oof, I don't think that's worth a Thermal Beam. Beam into open attack. I think we want to keep the beam for something like a GP.
I'll shoot the wings off a
That's not good. So I could beam open attack to generate the spider. Play officer next turn. Set up a ruination basically if my opponent has both champs. This might be a bit wasteful. I'm not quite sure here. Actually, I think I want to develop. Oof. I think I still like developing. If my opponent plays GP, I can get rid of the keg.
And we always find him.
Safety will cost you.
Back up here.
Okay, continuing to stack triggers. Feels like my opponent doesn't have Warning Shot, Make It Rain, or Parley in hand though. Ooh, Swap Bot might come in handy here soon.
Dead men tell my
Question, is a Swap Bot better than Withering Mist here? Corsair and GP Withering Mist is really good. I think I prefer that. Save the Swap Bot for Sejuani to then be able to kill her with a Grasp. The idea here is that it makes my opponent's attack very awkward. Basically, if they want to get a Plunder trigger this turn, they have to full swing. Unless they have a GP's party, damn.
So young.
Hang 'em by their entrails.
Third Gangplank? Really?
Stop right there. Stand down. Stop right there. Stop
Risky. That would be such a risky block. I don't know, it could be good, but I'm not sure. And drone's really good for us. Nice.
Know the value of coin.
Do you know the value of coin? Three Sisters Fury is quite a punish, but I think that was really good for us.
The ocean herself will fear us.
Ruination next turn looks good. I think I want to play the Swap Bot to bait out my opponent though. What else? Ledros? Bluff and Atrocity. Do this into open attack, maybe? Well, into open pass first. Could be scary.
I am reborn of salt and brine.
Okay, let's hope our opponent develops more. But it feels like they have no more champs in hand, to be honest. Felt like they had windows to play Sejuani. It's already the second GP and we saw a party, so technically the third.
If I kill you, I don't fortune.
Oh, good top deck. Good frickin' top deck. I mean, Warning Shot is a card, I kinda have to do this. Now I know where my atrocities have gone at least.
Light is a lure in the dark.
Ooh, I'm scared. But there's a chance my opponent doesn't have a fearsome blocker and Ledros just finishes the game. Right, this is a spell from Zap, this is a random top deck. Might be something like a Harpoon. Ah, damn. And their opponent has a Zap card. It's rough.
Let's do this.
I mean, I guess we shall live here. Or not.
Fight like the animal you are.
GG's. Ah, that was a good game though. That was a close one. Just a bit too many champions on my opponent's side. Scouts should be a very good matchup for us if we get some early sentinels going. Plenty of removal from F. Poppy can snowball out of control though. Mystic shots. Nah, let's look for sentinels. It's a pretty decent hand.
I ran as fast as I could. Just a little farther.
Elites. Interesting. Just some Bannerman version, probably.
I must reach the king.
Now my opponent can have MF plus resolve for protection. Okay, nice. Okay, so we just need to make sure we don't get super overrun. Pass. Okay. So it's unlikely my opponent has Bannerman since both of these whiffed.
I pull the strings.
A Demacian soldier is worth 10 foes.
That's an annoying fella. I think I have so much removal that I can beam this.
Avenge me.
Basically only need to make sure that I don't get out tempoed here. I think that I don't get snowballed on early. That looks like a 4 Demacia turn. I don't think I can play any of these because if I play Aftershock now my opponent plays Poppy, I'm in trouble. Okay.
I'm doing this my way.
I think they're gonna combine the 4 Demacia with a rally. Okay, never mind what I just said. I don't quite understand what is going on here. I mean, they must have something that makes it worth keeping all of these alive. Okay. That is something. Have Sentinel, Aftershock, Grasp. So Grasp, Valor, probably.
These woods belong to us.
Oh. Pre-commit Resolve. What? I'm confused. And now we just protect the Vi.
Moving.
It feels like a sharp side, but wouldn't they have used the sharp side?
Partner.
I don't know what's going on anymore. Just want to make use of the buffs, maybe?
Intel looks good. Affirmative. Ready to breach.
I'm one of the good guys, but not that good.
Well, you need to die ASAP. Don't think I care about the bird. I care more about burning my opponent's mana.
No prey, no pay.
Well, I could have set up lethal though. Attack, pull this aside, we push 4 and then just Atrocity Vi into the Nexus. I might have missed that. I think we're chilling here. Like, worst that can happen is what? Poppy into Rally, and that's really not all that scary.
The quiet of the woods, there's nothing like it.
It's not bad. well, dear friendo, if you don't contest Ledros, it's looking dire for you. Play both Sentinels first to get the atrocity buff in case... Well, I mean... Might be pointless, to be honest. What's the worst that can happen? Some sort of strike effect. Still like developing first, but then I don't slay the unit and my units don't get the buffs. That's basically the idea. Should just be GG though, like who plays strike effects and scouts? Am I right? GG. Nice. Run a good run.